Oh yes, one that you are
It's
captivated
timely.
by, but most
You
of the
were
world isn't
definitely
either.
not.
I like. We'll get into it, but it's Cars. That's the next film.
Which cares?
The ending of their red period, The Incredibles and Cars, which, yeah, again, I don't know why. Monsters Inc. Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc. Finding Nemo is the blue period.
All two of
Incredibles
them.
and Cars are their red period. I don't know why they
All
have
two of them.
these different periods of time, but whatever. Anyway,
I see. I see.
yeah. So it's Cars, considered by many to be the fall of what Pixar's just awesome attention to detail or whatever. Their little falter in quality, I guess. I will give it this. It's not as bad as certain other films that they've made that we'll get into. It's not
Correct.
it's not the best. I will also say it's not the
No,
best,
it's not perfect, but
but it's decent enough. I don't hate myself watching it, but let's
I definitely don't.
let's
But that's kind of
detail
the
the behind the
bias.
scenes, I guess. The reason for the season, if you will.
Oh
So,
yeah,
this
yeah.
film actually came out in 2006, the same year that Michael Eisner left Disney, probably for the better. Bob Iger had entered the company as the CEO of Disney, for better for worse, mostly for the better.
Perhaps yes.
But in later days, kind of, I don't know, for the worse ish, I guess. But whatever. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, and as soon as Bob Iger came on to the scene, he made a deal right then and there to buy Pixar right out. And yeah,
Yep.
instead of having like a 5 picture deal or whatever, and Pixar kind of considering distributing their own films or whatever, Disney was like, yeah, let's just buy you outright. You can do whatever the heck you want, make whatever films you want. No caps on anything, but you gotta.
You're our subsidiary.
And
Have fun.
what?
Like you're our subsidiary now, so have fun.
Basically, but instead of just being you are our subsidiary, give you all these rules, have fun. They basically said, you are our subsidiary, have fun, which is a
Exactly.
lot more than some other ones. But anyway, when I'm talking about
That's
them,
true.
made John Lasseter, our disgraced director, animator John Lasseter, the head of not only Pixar, but Disney Animation as a whole. So anything anything animated theatrically, John Lasseter had a hand to play in it, which is, yeah. And this was
Hmm.
actually directed by disgraced animator John Lasseter. After
Oh,
apparently, I don't necessarily know if this is true or not. I mean, every interview he's ever had, he's said this, but I will detail why that may not be the case, but we'll dive into it. He got the inspiration for making Cars after driving through Route 66 and, the
hmm.
Americana-ness of it and all that and
Oh, interesting.
all that type of stuff. He went on a road
Hmm.
trip with his family. Actually, he took a break, and I guess after making Toy Story 2, because he directed the first three, Pixar films back to back to back. And after that, he's tired. He's done, right? So he took a break
I see.
with the family, which, yeah, I mean, if you're, doing all this stuff, especially with Toy Story 2, making a film in 6 months, yeah, you
Yeah,
want a break.
I bet.
So, yeah, he took a break. I know it's between that time and 2006 where he took a Route 66 road trip and just fell in love with Americana and all that and want to make a movie based
Oh,
on it.
nice.
Now, that's his story. There's another film that this is very, very reminiscent of called Doc Hollywood.
Yes, so I hear.
With Michael J. Fox, except this one is rated R, and I'll tell you something, kind folks, okay? There's a lot of rated R-ness in this film. Like Michael J. Fox, okay, fabulous in the film, but I'll just tell you this. It's an enjoyable film, but there's a lot of sex, and there's a lot of nude scenes in this film. Cars is basically the rated G version of Doc Hollywood. It is so close. I can't even tell you. It's literally beat for beat the exact same film. I am not even joking. They even he sort of Mater isn't well I guess we'll get into it later, but anyway, I know you guys don't know Doc Hollywood because that's kind of obscure, but it's still a great movie. Everyone knows what Cars is, but let's take the wheel on this one, son. Let's deal with Cars.
So, a bit of a underrated classic, in my opinion. Here, in a nutshell, it's the story of how Lightning McQueen, who is the Ka-chow. You know, Owen Wilson. You know, wow.
I was a car in the movie Cars.
He was a car.
How wild was that? Wow.
I know, Owen Wilson. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, Doc. I mean, he's like a celebrity figure, essentially, in a world where cars are alive in a sense.
They are alive, period, but okay. Alive in a sense.
So they... let's see. He's in the Piston Cup, which is basically NASCAR in real life. And
IRL, if you will.
So he's doing his thing. He's famous. Big whoop with a fight about it, you know. Racing happens. He's a little bit arrogant, a little cocky. A little cocky for Owen Wilson here, you know.
He's a rich rookie who thinks that the world is at his fingertips, you know.
He does, yes, and
but he has to learn. He's a fast car, but he's got to learn to slow down and take in the scenery.
Yeah, you could say that. But let's see. So him and his semi-truck Mack, which is a reference to the Mack truck semi-truck brand. They did that on purpose, you know.
We all know, kind folks.
Good. I'm glad that you know that, actually.
I'm
so. Oh, good shot. Good poop.
Oh yes.
Good poop. So they're traveling. Then we get
Why are they traveling?
To go to the next race location.
So this is for the Piston Cup, but Chick Thunder Hicks and
Chick
Thunder Hicks and who's he, the Duke or whoever he is,
the King.
The King, there you go, the blue car.
Yeah, the Dynaco guy.
They all tie. There's a three-way tie for the Piston Cup, so they got to finish it off in Florida, so they're heading off there. Anyway, let's continue.
Then Owen Wilson even stuck his tongue out, I think, and that's how they tied it.
Yes.
Tied by a tongue. Chow, wow.
Which leads us into car anatomy that many people have been trying to decipher to this day.
They have, yes. I've seen stuff about that. But, yes, so they're traveling. They're on the highway, you know. And, yeah, that's a song in that film.
Life is a highway.
From a cover band. It's a cover from Rascal Flatts. and
course
not
you would know
the
that.
original band that did it back in the day that I forget the name of. But
Dare I say it though? Even though Billy Ray Cyrus, no, it's not Billy Ray Cyrus.
no,
He
was not in it at
although
all.
he did do a cover for this film too, but this cover, dare I say it, superior. I gotta say, and it's not just
I kind of like this version better. Also,
it's not because of the film, because
No.
#movie. You know, I listen to the other ones; they just don't sound right to me. Probably because I
it's
don't know.
not. Yeah, I think I like the newer one also.
Maybe because of nostalgia or something. I don't. Maybe it is because of
Could be,
nostalgia. I don't know.
could
But
be.
anyway, I prefer this rendition. I had to look it up. I remember I looked it up on Spotify. I was looking up throughout, like really searching for it. I could only find it on a YouTube back in high school, and I finally found it. And
Huh.
I gotta say,
Nice.
the bee's knees. It's now on Spotify. So JSYK. Anyway, though, continue.
Yes. Let's see. And on this said, we get the street racing gang that comes up with
The Fast and Furious reference, I guess, if you will.
yeah, kind of the FNF reference, or maybe Need for Speed Underground for the gamers paying attention here. We got a DJ with his like 50,000 subwoofers in the hatch in the back. We got Wing with his like 50,000 feet tall spoiler. And let's see. What was it? It was like Wingo or something. I forgot what that guy's name was. Or something like that.
I don't remember any of these guys, but
I definitely do, but then again, duck cars. So yeah.
I mean,
Then there was
technically
Snot Rod.
characters, but I mean, whatever.
We got a Snot Rod who is a Dodge Challenger lookalike that sneezes a lot with his blower for you car nerds out there in the hood, or that pokes through the hood. It's that, it's you see these modified classic cars like this metal, like round thing that's like sticking out of the middle of the hood. That's what I'm talking about. So that was on there, and the Snot Rod's sneezing and blasting off, something like that. Somehow between that and the Wing guy and DJ be like, "Oh, changing lanes, man! I'm changing lanes, hey!" They put Mac to sleep, and I thought that was kind of funny, but kind of cruel at the same time. Lightning McQueen falls out of the trailer. Oops. Whoops. He wakes up when some car goes by. He's like, fuck, Owen Wilson. And something happens that I forget. And then he's like, the interstate, wow. Then that's when you get the love it to kick in. And he's hauling some ass on good old Route 66. Then the Radiator Springs sheriff, known as Sheriff, appears, and he's like, "Oh no!" Comes out cop style, pulls him over. Then he blows a gasket, which I thought was kind of funny. Another thing that the common film critic would probably not really appreciate or relate with, but the car enthusiasts within us did. Hence why it's an underrated classic. And then what was the line? He's like, "Boy, you're in a heap of trouble." Never forget that. You know, Owen Wilson, Lightning McQueen, he's like tangled up in the telephone line wire from the roadside. Let's see. Then he goes to the court where Doc is the straight up judge, and Doc becomes important a little later. Somehow he's sentenced to like community service through repaving the road, and that's somehow when he meets Mater. They're probably like not really getting along at first. Lightning's like, "Yeah, you know, cut show. Huh, wow." Then let's see. Lightning McQueen stays at the Cozy Cone Motel place where he meets Sally, who is a Porsche 911. Fun fact, in real life, one of our neighbors at a place we once lived had one of those cars. But regardless, little crush develops there. Mater invites him out to do some tractor tipping. They do that. It's kind of funny. Tractors are like cows in this universe, I guess. So, what happens then? Somehow, he's ending up with a Doc, who is basically the fabulous Hudson Hornet, which was a real life race car from like the 50s, I think. So it's a nice touch there. I liked that a lot. Doc is trying to explain to Lightning how to race around the dirt track, and he's like, turn left to go right. That was a big thing. Then, Lightning McQueen tries it and drives off the side of the track into the briar patch or something. It's funny. Then he's chilling with Ramon, who's like, "Hey, Holmes," and gives Lightning McQueen like a paint job for some random ass reason, but relatable for the car culture's sake. All right, what else? We got Flo's V8 Cafe, which is where Lightning McQueen gets some fuel. Let's see. They start the day like randomly the next morning. Let's see. Sarge, the World War II era Willys Jeep, raises the flag, and then Fillmore, the Volkswagen bus, starts playing the like Jimi Hendrix style psychedelic rock. It's like, "I respect the classics, man, all through the land." I forget what comes next. Something happens there, and I'd have to rewatch it. Then they go to the next race finally to beat Chick Hicks to the track so they can get the warm-up laps in first and get a head start. And they get there. That happens. They all race. Lightning McQueen technically would have won the race, but I think Chick Hicks did some like very distasteful wreck-inducing move to the king where he's like flips over 50,000 times in a row. Kind of looks like Doc did in this newspaper article. It was like a little flashback. He was like, damn, that's like what Doc went through when he crashed back in his 50s racing. And so he dramatically stops right before the finish line to make a statement. Chick Hicks technically wins the race just by chance because he got lucky. Lightning was like, man, I can't let the king stay here like this. And it's like a nice little touching moment. And they're like, oh, he's the real winner here. And he gets the Dynaco Cup the Dynaco endorsement. The king retires anyway because, he's old. He's based on a very famous and rare muscle car from back in the day that I believe they totally destroyed in Fast and Furious 6, from what I remember. So that sucked, but yeah, same car, different film. Then there's a little bit of fun stuff at the end. Radiators. Oh, I totally forgot. Okay, this was the part I forgot about. Lightning McQueen he somehow starts to really feel a sense of belonging in Radiator Springs. So he's like, man, this place is depressing. Let's bring it back. People need to see this place. It needs to be a good stop here. And essentially, they get all the neon lights fixed up. The traffic light finally works again. And it's a popular stop on Route 66 for a while. Then I think after Lightning McQueen left, it kind of went back to the way it was before, which kind of sucked. Now, back to the end. So, Lightning McQueen is now like a famous resident of Radiator Springs, and he's kind of become one in the Brotherhood of Radiator Springs in Carburetor County, another car pun for those of you car nerds out there. And then credits play with the Get Your Kicks on Route 66 song playing. Mater finds his long lost hood that was missing. Then he sneezes it off and it falls back into the canyon. And then I think that's it. That was going off of memory. I haven't seen it in a few years.
An exhaustive recount.
It really was.
But anyway,
I'm out of breath.
That was a movie recap with Skits.
It was.
Clap, clap, clap. Round of applause for Skits. Cheering for Skits. Anyway,
that's probably the only one that I'm going to recap.
Again, you've recapped some more, but
that would
the only one that you're going to recap after this one, probably. Anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. That's the last one I'm going to be recapping for you.
But anyway,
this is about where I stopped, except for Toy Story 3. Anyway, Slam.
Cars, I mean, basically replace car racing with plastic surgery / doctoring.
Doc Hollywood, yeah.
And then get Doc Hollywood. That's basically
it. We do. We do.
And replace it with replace some scenes with some sex scenes and some nude scenes, and then you get
it's Doc Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
We know. It's true.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Good shit. Oh yes. Anyway, with the what is it? To be fair, I will give it this. Animation's pretty pristine, especially for 2006. Okay.
It does look good.
I
You're
mean,
right.
Shark Tale came out in 2004. Okay, so I mean, come on now.
There you go.
Some of the songs, very well done.
Good soundtrack overall. I liked it.
Yeah, they've got the down homeness down. You know, whoever did the soundtrack.
Good job.
Yes, indeed, nice job. I think that was an. Yep, I had an ant crawling on my neck, so that's fun. Anyway,
that is kind of toileting.
That is kind of toileting, and then but fortunately I killed it, so there you go. Anyway,
yeah, there you go.
Enough of that grossness. What else? The story is fairly decent. However,
yeah,
even as a kid, I was like, this is just a film that's trying to sell me toys. Because I saw Cars Mania all over the place.
Yeah, that's true. And I loved every bit of it.
Of course.
And you probably didn't, but I did.
I liked it enough, except I remember the moment I figured out that they were trying to sell me toys was when they were the McDonald's Happy Meal, okay? You had the cars in there, right? But
sure,
you won't.
Yeah.
A couple of the cars were the Fast and Furious cars that moved Mac or whatever, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Messed around with Mac. Yeah. And I was like, oh, these are going to be interesting characters in the film. And then I watched it when it came out on DVD because I wasn't allowed to go in the movie theater because, you know,
The Life of Slam.
Not going to talk about that, The Life of Slam. But anyway, watched it on DVD when it came out, and they were in like 5 minutes. And I was like, what the heck? What? Huh? What? That's the first time I realized that I was being marketed to, and I was like, this is ass.
That's funny.
However, it is not a bad... Despite what many people say online, dare I say it, it's not a bad movie. Not a bad film. It's not the best film ever made either, but
no,
I don't regret putting it on every once in a while.
Yeah.
And since this is probably your favorite movie, son, what is your rating on said film?
This one is going to be on par with Monsters Incorporated at a 10, but that is very heavily because of the car culture, and I do see that if you're not, knowledgeable on the automotive industry, like, let's take our boy Slam here, ended up with the Ford Focus, refuses to replace the $2 part to fix the radio. Couldn't resist. But, like in your case, it's not something you can necessarily connect with. I know you mentioned they didn't get the little details or something, or the little nice touches, but to me they did, and they did very well, but it was a little bit too specialized. You had to know about the car stuff to really appreciate it, but if you don't know about that, then it's like, what? Okay, it's just a random name for something, and I don't see the point. So, yeah.
I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. Again,
nice. 0.5 higher than I thought that you'd give it. Nice.
I don't know many people you're thinking it's going to give it a 6 out of 10. I was like, no. Because
he was.
Hey, I got some nostalgia with this film, right? I
do for sure.
It's actually not that bad of a film. And
no.
Is it the best? Again, is it the best? No. Is it here just to sell toys? Well, if you look at the micro index of Disney highest grossing properties or whatever, even with Star Wars, Cars is like in the top 5, if not the top 10. no, Cars is in the top 10, if not the top 5. So, of course, they made sequels to Cars. But
some were better than others.
yeah. But anyway.
A certain one of them, we'll get to it later. But yeah.
The Cars is basically Cars is a decent film. It's just It's just, compared to Pixar's top level awesomeness in film, even Monsters Inc., okay?
Exactly, yeah.
It's just, if we stopped at Toy Story 3, this would consider to be the worst film. And it's a 7.5 out of 10. So it's not bad. It's just considered by me to be, if they stopped at Toy Story 3, this would be their worst film. And again,
that's saying something.
That is saying something. Yes.
That whole era was just good.
Yes.
If that's the worst one, that's pretty good because that was a pretty good film.
Oh yes. So, anyway, though,